Madam Chair, if you're ready, I think we'll go ahead and start the discussions. We had an agree to disagree on 2136. I believe we've all had an opportunity to sign that, or, okay, all right. Was brought to my attention, I don't know if you want to visit about the delivery charge piece.
So, Mr. Chairman, and maybe for the revisers and research, I want to make sure how this process works. Since we do have an agree to disagree, then we begin negotiations again, right, on 2136. Is that correct?
That will be correct. I mean, you can discuss it here. It's fine. And then we'll just have to re-meet no matter what the ultimate agreement is on 2136 to finalize it once the agree to disagree is run. But you're more than welcome to discuss any sort of changes you may want.
Okay, wonderful. And thank you for bringing that up. I am going to push back a little bit and try to salvage a little bit more of 2597 if possible, Mr. Chairman. So yes, we can sign the agree to disagree and get back to negotiating on 2136. That would be absolutely fine.
Sorry, didn't know if I had my button pushed or not. Is that something you're wanting to discuss now, or wait until we come back from the agree to disagree?
Mr. Chairman, it's whatever's best for you. If you want to come back, that would be fine. I know we all are on the floor at 10 a.m. I do know that we want to expedite this process. So the other thing is we do have one vehicle. I know we've talked a little bit about the credit card surge charge being exposed. We all know that vendors are, that cost is being passed on to customers. It's a reality, a cost of doing business. And we have looked at possible legislation that would break that out as a separate line item on a receipt. Right now in Kansas, they cannot break that out and show that expenditure. So we have discussed the possibility of doing that. I know we have to keep that in a separate bill. It's single subject rule. Correct. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And then if we have another vehicle, maybe another topic that we might be able to agree on.
Okay.
The treasurers, I know we talked a little bit about it. They've been working on it for years. So if we could help out, if you would be amenable to that, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely. I know that other bill you were talking about for the county treasurers was a bill that just kind of stalled out. So if there's something the tax committee, it didn't come through House tax. I don't think it came through Senate tax either. But if that's something we can help get through, as long as it's not controversial, willing to take a look at that for sure.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I know the House had passed a version of the credit card surcharge elimination. It's an elimination of the ban of the charging for the surcharge. It's kind of tongue twisting, but do you remember the Senate bill? Are you proposing the language that the Senate committee had passed out?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we took a good look at what the House sent us. We had a hearing on it and went over it. We liked what the work you did. It's always easier being the second set of eyes because you get to have a different perspective than the original. So we did approach it a little different language than the House did. And I would ask that you guys take a look at that.
Do you remember the bill number that?
Off the top of my head, I don't. I've got so many numbers running through.
Understand.
Yeah.
I do know that's something that the House was favorable to. If we can just take a look at that.
The Senate version was in substitute for Senate Bill 462.
Yep. Pending our review of that, I think that's something we're certainly willing to take a look at. I know it passed in the House pretty favorably, so don't anticipate there'd be any kickback on that at this time.
Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, that would be great. And are you planning on putting that in the Senate bill?
331.
331.
That would.
Is that acceptable?
What I'm anticipating. Okay. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. And then we'll use 2136 for the vehicle on the other negotiations.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Senator Holland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to clarify, the credit card, is this the surcharge language? What did you refer to that as? Mr. Chairman?
It is currently, state law bans, a credit card, a separate line item to pass that surcharge along to the consumer.
Right.
And so this is a elimination of that ban.
So just so I understand, this is basically the tax committee putting legislation on the floor that's saying that the legislature is now on record for allowing credit card surcharges.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to respond to that if I may.
Certainly.
I would say that it is allowing vendors to specifically put a line item on the receipt so that they know what the surcharge is. Right now, they're blocked from doing that. We all know that that expense is passed on to customers, but this way it would go for transparency. I would say that it's similar to, well, not really similar, but the sales tax bill that we passed allowing or exemption of delivery and postage sales tax, state sales tax. That is only excluded if it is a line item broken out. So we could take the same approach to this, that they can only charge it if they break it out as a line item. But that would be a little heavy-handed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Senator Hall.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just a couple, I guess, questions. I never understood why the credit card surcharge issue went through the tax committees in the first place. To me, this is a totally different subject matter. The second thing, what I don't understand, I never understood from our hearings, at least, is did Attorney General Schmidt, did he play any role as far as how this mature ripened to land in our committees? Was there any sort of a court case or ruling where maybe somebody sued the state over this issue and we lost, and now we're having to do this as a result of just any sort of legal cleanup or clarification? I guess I'd like to know more from legislative research what that's all about.
How about we address that when we come back? If that would give time to for research to look into that, because I'm not aware of anything from the Attorney General's office.
Madam Chair, I know it's been over a year since we had that through our committee, but I know there was a lawsuit based on a company that was, there's an app or a company that provides a service to allow people to know what their surcharges are when they're going shopping, if I'm remembering this correctly. And this service was not allowed to operate in Kansas because of the current law that bans the surcharge fees. So it wasn't really a court case regarding the surcharge. It was more of a disclosure case. And I better stop talking now because I can't remember everything for certain, but perhaps the revisers or staff could brief us on that, give us an overview of what that was.
And I appreciate it, but once again, that's my concern, is I have no idea why this is going through tax committee. To me, I would guess, does this violate the two subject rule if we're going to put that in a thing with something else? But I do want that legal background why we're addressing this, because if this is a result of a court case why we're having to do this, I don't understand why the Attorney General, if the state did lose on something or acquiesced on a legal position, why the Attorney General's office can't write an opinion or something. And I just want to know why we have to address that issue, the background, a little more. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Madam Chair, as well.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll ask research and revisers if you could work on that. Yes. And the reason it came to tax, that's a leadership question. I've seen tax bills in fed and state, in local government. There's no rhyme or reason to that. I don't know why it came to tax, but it did.
Well, and regarding the comment on the single subject rule, Madam Chair, was it your intent? I guess I didn't review 331 to see what the contents were. We would be gutting that one and putting only this language in for that. Representative Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think, can I move on and ask another question just for clarification on the county treasurer? that you brought up. What does that involve? What's,
There was, I believe it went through House Transportation. I'm not sure where it went in Ways and Means in the Senate. There was a bill that had to do with the fees that the county treasurers were receiving on their motor vehicle fees. It repealed the $4 state fee.
I'm with you now. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other business yet to conduct right now?
Not currently. I know we are on the floor at 10, and I will turn in the agree to disagree and run those as quickly as possible. So when would you like to return?
That's what I was just contemplating. I'm not sure what all business we have. Do we want to set a time for prior to lunch, or do you think that's being too, okay? Do you want to plan on 11:30 at this time, or?
I was thinking more 11, but 11:30 is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do 11:30 just because I'm not sure what all procedural stuff we might have or business going on, but 11:30 back in this room.
Okay. 11:30. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.